All right. Looks like we are back. Here we go. Let's get the stream out there. Yo, yo. We are back. We are back. We are back. All right, let me get some things fixed around here on my side. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome back. Welcome back. Thank you for bearing with me. I don't know what the issue is altogether, but we're going to get it fixed. So let me get some charts on here for you guys so you guys can see what's going on with price action. And then we're going to go from there. Okay, got that fixed. That looks good. That looks good. Okay. All right, we're all up. We're all up. Okay. No, I'm here. I was just saying, let me get some things situated. That's all. My weekend was decent. My weekend was decent. I went to a new church on Sunday. Yeah, good message. I really enjoyed it. It was a good little trip out there. So overall, good weekend. No complaints. No complaints on my side. Yeah, we should squeeze higher, man. To be honest with you, we should squeeze a little bit higher here. Frame rate should drop a little bit here. Let me drop something here on my side. Let me try output. Yeah, I'm at 8,000. I'll drop this to 6. See if that helps. Pulls less bandwidth over. See if that helps. All right, so same thing as before, just waiting for that 2409, 2400. I want to see what happens at 2400. Yeah, I'm long from 2170 something, and I started building a short here right around like 2380. Let me double check. Yeah, 2383. I started building a small little short. I'm gonna go back over to a 55. This is kind of what we're looking at. Let me just take these fair rate gaps off real quick. So started building inside of this zone, looking for wave one to finish here. If this was wave one, then it is what it is, and I'll remeasure. But this is essentially what I was looking for. I was looking to get tapped, so that's why I started building in that area. Because what if you're wrong? What if it decides to go in the opposite direction? So I'm gonna take a little bit of profit off of that. So small little jabs, boom, boom, boom. 20 here, 20 there, 20 here, 20 there. You think about it, if you do 5 plays at, $20 a pop in the sense of scalp, you've made $100 for the day. I plan on holding the long. Me personally, I believe in the long right now, so I'm just scalping the shorts, really. And even if I come back to entry, like, I would just rebuild. I took a little bit of profit off of it, so it doesn't waste my time, so it's not futile in that sense. I don't know how my leverage changed last night, but my leverage was like at 20x. I seldomly ever run 20x, so I had to adjust my leverage, which lowered my margin. That's fine. So that just gives me an opportunity to add more once we get to those levels. Yeah, I changed my bit rate. I reduced my bit rate down to 6,000. So I'm hoping that helps overall. Looks like my stats wise, I'm not dropping too bad. I'm like at 12%. So it's not horrible, but hopefully that helps. What's up, Solar? Welcome to the stream, baby. Let me go ahead and put the Discord up on there for you guys. I think majority of you guys are already inside Discord, but anybody that's strolling through that coming across wants access to it, whoops. There you go. That's the Discord. And just a reminder to you guys, we do have the campaign tournament that's coming out this week. Should actually come out later today, go live later today, which would probably be posting it tomorrow. It's a campaign tournament that's specific to the Liquidity Citadel. It's just for us. You do have access to get up to a VIP 3 status, just being part of the server. There are some steps for you in order to have VIP access, not just through Bytenix, but VIP access inside the server. So just make sure that you do fill out the form where you can send me your UID. I do have more control than I did in the previous server that I was a part of. I'd always have to go through somebody, and they'd have to go through somebody, and they'd have to go through somebody. here in our server, we actually have Buy2Nix inside of our server. So I can reach out to them directly and be like, hey, this is what's up. This person's running into this issue, or this person's VIP status, so forth and so on. And that's basically our direct line. So it's one of the benefits for us. There's no more waiting in that sense, and waiting and waiting and waiting. So we get faster results for us. Once you fill out the form and your UID is there, then I make sure that your VIP status is increased. Thanks, bro. I appreciate that you love it. I love that you're there. I love that you're there. We had an influx today in members, I guess, from the stream. So I got an alert from the server. Like, we had an influx, which is good, though. Which is really good. So I'm happy you guys are here. Thank you for being here. Yeah, if, like I was saying before, if you guys run into any issues on the server, can't access something, or even if you have an issue with like another member or anything like that, please feel free to reach out to me. We have a couple different moderators that are already in place for us. So it's a welcoming area. It's not a bashing area or anything like that. You do have access to a journal. So if you want to create a journal on your own, you have access to that as well too. So you can start charting your ideas, your setups, things of that nature. Mentorship is inside of the Discord. The private mentorship. I hold private classes Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, where I meet with students for 1 hour, revisiting the courses that they already have established. They have access to all the courses that are already there. So if they want to jump ahead and maybe just kind of feed on that throughout the course of the week, they can. This is a 90-day program where I work with you one-on-one for 90 days. After that 90 days, you still have access to the content and material. So in the event maybe you forgot something, or maybe you need a little refresher, all that content will be in there. And as the server grows, more content will be placed inside there. For VIP access, you do have access to educational content as well. It just, you don't have the hand holding, you don't have the one-on-ones like you would with me in that regard, but some of that information is going to be posted on there for about Elliott waves, TD9 sequentials, things of that nature. There are tutorials for the indicators that we offer. So if someone is trying to work with the indicators and they just not really grasping it, we do have tutorials that are established for them as well too. So the server is going to be growing. There's going to be more content that's going to be put in there. Obviously, the server came at the hands of kind of like a last minute thing, but I feel like we've done pretty well thus so far with the members that we have. We have an amazing vibe in there, in the sense of positivity. Everybody working with each other, and that's really what it boils down to. It's everybody working with each other, trying to push the next person up a little bit higher. Not one person saying, I'm right, I'm right, I'm right, or you're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong. It's everybody kind of working together. And I believe in that. I believe in that. All right, let's take a look at this. Okay, so ETH hit that signs of weakness inside that area. Right now, I'm looking at 23.13 inside that area. I want to see what matures inside that zone. Small little margins. I'm not taking big margins here or anything like that. I want to work my way back up to reactivate the 1K to 10K challenge. That challenge that I was running prior to, we got that account roughly up to right around like 2 bands. But obviously with the dismembership from the previous server, I'm going to be restarting that altogether. So I'll be taking smaller trades here, just showing you guys essentially what that looks like. Kind of soak your feet as far as my strategy if you're not used to and accustomed to as far as how I trade and how I take setups. And then going into the campaign and tournament, I'll look to be activating the 1K to 10K challenge again for us. We do have a giveaway. Just as a reminder, we have a giveaway that's going out this Wednesday. If you had your entry on Twitter, where I posted, your YouTube handle, make sure you're following the Twitter page, resharing, commenting, all that jazz. We'll be doing the giveaway on Wednesday. So if you are part of that, just be on the lookout for that on Wednesday, and then we'll take it from there. What's up, Ronan? Yeah, everybody's got different usernames, so it's it's hard to pinpoint who is who. Yeah, but well, thank you, brother. Thank you. 9 printing on ETH, 1 hour. Yeah, I'm on a 55, so not far off. I had the 9's probably printing now, but I got a 9 here right before. So this is actually a good idea. I'll go into River here in a second. But this is one of the reasons why I utilize unique timeframes, because I can see that move happen just a little bit beforehand that higher time frame. Yes, it's a 5-minute differential, but what if 1 hour just continues to come down and doesn't go back to where the 55-minute 9 was at? This is one of the reasons why I use unique timeframes, just looking at different data that other traders aren't looking at. River, we'll take a peek at River here now. I like River. I think I got an ABC, a 5-point harmonic pattern that's going to be printing out. I believe that we entered into wave B inside this area. So really I would be building on River anywhere that's like roughly around 11. I posted the setup inside of my corner for River where I was longing, where I took profits on that one. I actually went to sleep, so I closed out that position. Could have held on to it, but I'll just find another opportunity for that when it comes to River. But I do believe that it goes to somewhere around like 52. There's real liquidity that sits right around like 65. So there's potential that can go into that area. If it goes to 65, then wave D is going to be deeper. So if we go to 52, somewhere inside that benchmark, then I'm looking at a wave D being somewhere over here inside this area. It could very well print even higher from here. Like that's just my thesis on it, right? Because from a weekly perspective for River, I have something that looks like this, and saying, okay, well, this is a wave 1. You have an 8 that printed here, and this move down to the downside was a wave 2. Wave 2 is just not confirmed yet from a weekly perspective. It's just not confirmed yet. So if we come back and revisit that area or come down a little bit deeper in that area, I'm going to be longing that zone. And then wave 3 is going to be disgusting, for lack of better terminology. So I believe I'm on a 450 for River. Yeah, I'm on a 450, so slightly higher time frames, a little bit better data for me. Just kind of managing it from that position. Now, ETH is going to revisit this New York open high. That's what it's pushing towards. If we get a bounce inside that area, then I'm looking for that 2408, that area to respond for us. We're going to be running live until about 1:30 today. That's the schedule. Just recapping with you guys, Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays. We're going to be running from 9 a.m., 9:30 a.m. to about 1:30. Those are like peak hours where a lot of people are on YouTube. At least you guys, viewers wise, that's what the algorithm is showing me. So I want to make sure that I give you that that stream base and correlate around your schedule. Also, so there's not a lot of repeating of myself in the sense of people that are coming in later in the day when I've already outlined some of that stuff in the very beginning of the stream. So 9:30 we'll start Monday through Wednesdays. We'll run until about 1:30. Then Thursdays and Fridays we'll pick up roughly around 11:30, maybe around 12 o'clock, and we'll run that until about 4:30. So that's essentially going to be the stream schedule. Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. I have the private mentorship classes that start at 8 a.m. and those run until about 9 for about an hour or so. So this is why those streams Mondays, Tuesdays and Wednesdays, those are going to be running a little bit later. What's an indicator package? Yeah, it's going to be everything that's included here. So there's an order block here. It's a little bit of a different of an order block. The way I wrote it correlated to smart money concepts and fractals. There's a cipher for wave counts. This is a confluence checklist. So in the event that you don't have all your indicators open, this pulls all the data from all those different indicators, from an imbalance to a heat wave to volume. So it pulls all that stuff. It's a little checklist that sits right over here. So you'll have an idea. So should I be shorting here? Should I be longing here inside of this area? So that way you don't have to read all that data and have all your charts open for that. Dynamic liquidity profile. This is essentially what I'm always going over constantly, saying these are where our liquidity pockets are going to be sitting. That's what I'm going to be targeting. You have imbalance. This is really going to be looking at trend. That actually pairs well with the DMI because DMI is a lagging indicator. So it gives you a little clearer indication. This is going to be another liquidity pocket. This one is written off the back of CoinGlass. So it shows me the different liquidity pockets based on leverage. So if I'm running like 65x, 125x, 50x, things like that, 500x, it shows me where those liquidity pockets are at. This is going to be for Elliott waves. If you're struggling with Elliott waves and how to figure them out, I wrote this to where it shows you where wave 2 is going to be at, because wave 3 is going to be your strongest and most impulsive wave. It shows you where there's invalidation, and it gives you different types of degrees of waves, whether it be a minor, a minute, an intermediate, a primary. This is for risk reward. So if you want to measure out and say, okay, well, I'm getting into position, what's going to be my R levels for TP? So you have 1R, 2R, 3R. So if you're running a 2R and you took profit, you can leave a runner going and just let it continue to go, and it'll show you where invalidation is. Order blocks. This is exactly what it sounds like. They're order blocks. This is contingent off of volume. You have fib zones to show you where the moves and the bigger swings and the time frames of when they're going to occur. This is automatic. You could also do it manually, but you can have something that's automatic for you. MFI, money flow indicator, showing you where when the money's coming in, when the money's going out. RSI, relative strength index. These are all correlated together. DMI, exactly what I was mentioning earlier, direction moving index. You have your ADX. I have peak levels that I've designed for where ADX typically peaks out at roughly around 60 to 80 benchmarks. And you also have your baseline that's already established in there with some lower levels. That very similar to like an RSI, like if something's like oversold or overbought, I have lower levels. Shaved heads and shaved bottoms with fair value gaps. Self-explanatory, showing where the imbalance is in the market, where price action can go to from a candle analysis perspective, and then looking at the bodies for fair value gaps to be filled. If you're struggling with harmonics, this is going to be a harmonic tool where it automatically pulls roughly around 80 different harmonics that are out there. You can set it for bullish, you can set it for bearish, or you can do both at the same time. The way I've designed this is the pattern is not invalidated if it runs to stop loss. I've just designed the stop loss to where someone doesn't get completely liquidated, because majority of us are degen and we run a higher leverage, and they take an entry and it runs, deeper, and they're like, well, the pattern's still valid, but now they're liquidated. So the way I've designed that is I've designed for a tighter stop loss for it, so that way you can get out, but you also have the potential to get back in. So it's designed for capital. In the event that you want to customize your TP levels, you can customize your own TP levels. These are all automatically defaulted to fib levels, but you can customize them on your own as far as for TP levels. Then of course you have the infamous heat map with TD9 sequential. And so it's TD9 sequential with candle analysis, letting you know when we have cooldowns and we have heat ups inside of the market. So that is a fast and easy way of me explaining it, but that's what's included with that. Short. for a Confluence box. So I have checklists that go for them. You know, if I like to usually have roughly around, excuse me, these are all the things that it's going to be pulling data from. DMI, directional imbalance. It's going to be looking at ATR as well too, and it's going to be looking at liquidity. And then I can change this to, if I want to have 3 of those signals that check off yes, it's going to signal for it. I set it for 4, me personally. So I have 2 out of the 4 here that's screaming wide to short. Yeah, no worries. They're there. They're tools that I use. You know, they're open to you guys. If you guys choose to subscribe to them, you guys have lifetime access. So they're, whether you stay with me, we work together, we vibe together, you go separate ways, whatever the case may be, you always have access to them. Even people that shed dirt on my name that have access to them, I haven't removed them because I'm not wired that way. I'm not petty in that sense. So people still have access to them. $2.2. Yeah, I'm looking at 2200 handles like right over here. So if I have a wave 1, this is going to have to confirm my wave 1. I'm already positioned on the short for it. I started building in that area. I didn't build more. I didn't add more to my position like I normally wanted to. I had a limit that was set a little bit higher, right around 2409. I didn't get to that area. However, that's why I started building inside that zone, because what if I don't get to that area? So this is the reason for building inside that zone. We do have New York open high that sits inside this area, so I could see maybe a potential bounce off of here. Then we run back into the zone, flushing out some of these shorts inside this area. I could see that. We could come down a little bit lower to a 0.382. Then it's really decision making at that time, because if it runs back to 2409, it decides to go higher, then this is a wave 2, a flat wave 2, and then we have wave 3 levels that sit, 1.618, 2564, all the way up to roughly around 2739, 2621, 2623 inside of that area. That's a big decision maker for the butterfly pattern that we have set up for it. The butterfly pattern is a confluence that goes with the inverse head and shoulder. So the inverse head and shoulder needs to have a V-shaped recovery in order to form that right shoulder. So we may come back down into these areas and then get our impulse up. That's what's going to create that V-shaped recovery. So I'm open to looking to re-longing or adding to my longs as we go into this area, and then looking at that V-shaped recovery. And then that's just something that I'm going to hold on to, because if, and it's a big if that inverse head and shoulder performs, boy, oh boy, oh boy, that thing is going to fly. It is going to fly. The indicator package, if you're part of the Liquidity Citadel, there's a discount that goes for you. So the full package is $375. And that gives you lifetime access. Typically they retail for like, a little bit over $1,000. You're looking at 16, 17 different indicators put together. But I decreased it to $425. But people that are part of our Discord family, they get a discount. I was running the same discount for the previous server that I was in, so it's not about profit for me in that regard. It's more of you guys having the right tools to trade effectively. So you have, one of my metaphors that I like to use is, trading is almost like building a house, right? You can't just build a house with a hammer and a nail. You need other tools. Tape measure, levels, saws, so forth and so on, right? To make sure that you have accuracies, to make sure you have stability in that home that you're building. Very similar to your setups that you're taking, you want to make sure that you have stability inside your setups. So this is why the tools come in handy, so you can cross-reference things. Yeah, if there's anything that I need to add to the so once you have VIP access, you'll be able to see the indicator hub. Everything is already posted inside of our server. So one, make sure that you have VIP access. If you don't have VIP access, just shoot me a DM. Usually the VIP access is going to be related to your UID, that you're connected through the UID through Bytenix. But you can see the entire list that's there, everything that I just showed you. Any updates that I put in there, it'll automatically go inside of that channel. If any of you guys run into any issues or need support on them, you guys have a channel in there as well too. You're like, hey, for example, like DMI. So when DMI comes over, DMI defaults the opacity to 0. So I've had people like, hey, what's wrong with my DMI? Like I activated, but I see nothing on my chart. Well, you got to go to the opacity. You have to increase the opacity. Then you'll see the lines on your chart. That's just the way it defaulted. But it's a long way of answering your question. Yes, as there's more updates and things that I add to that package, then all subscribers automatically get those. So if there's a new indicator that I design that I'm like, hey, you know what, this actually can be beneficial, not only for myself and my own personal trades, because this is exactly what I use, but other individuals can utilize it, then I just add people automatically for that. There's no upcharge for that or anything like that. It's a pretty sweet deal in my opinion, but that's just me speaking out. I offer you good vibes and a good time in a server where it's a safe place. Mentorship and the indicators, that's the paid version. And then I offer you VIP 3 access through Bytenix if you're trading under the referral link. That's all I got. Wish I could offer you more. Copy trading is coming down the line. That's something that we're going to be looking into going into the next week. I want to get through the campaign first, run through the 1K, 10K challenge, kind of get our feet, established with that. And then once that's established, we have our moves, we have our setups, then we're going to start opening up to copy trading. The copy trading will be done on Bytenix, just if that's not obvious, but that's where we'll be doing it. Take your time, it'll always be there. Yeah, I've been using these indicators for almost like 4.5 years now. Over the last year, I refined a lot of them, tweaked a lot of them. They were always private. They were just for myself. I never opened it up to other people. But with my walk, my spiritual walk, one question I've always asked is, why do you give me this knowledge? What is it for? It can't just be for profiting. It can't just be to be a trader who makes money. What's the real purpose behind it? And I've identified part of my calling is to teach others. That's why I feel like I have a heart of a teacher. So this is one of the reasons why I've opened up for individuals to have it. There's obviously a paid version for it because it's for serious traders. It's not just a shiny toy like, oh, I have indicators. It's something that where someone really wants to build with it. That's why the entry fee is so low in regards to get a hold of it, but it also establishes that seriousness. I know who's serious about trading. And there's a couple guys, there's actually a lot of guys inside of our server that actually already utilize them. So you don't have to take my word for it. You feel free to ask around what the mentorship is like, what the indicator package is like, how it's worked for them. Totally up to you guys. Full transparency. Bam, bam. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, that's usually how it starts. It was for me when I first got into, not into trading, but like crypto, if you will. I was a full-time mortgage broker for like 17 years. And then during bear markets is when I was a little bit more profitable. And, you know, it's how I provide for my family at the end of the day. And it's me versus me, not me having to deal with the updates or the banter that I would get from the mortgage side. A lot of people don't know this, but a lot of people just think, you know, as a mortgage broker, you know, it's just you're working with a buyer or seller, you're working with a homeowner, and that's it. It's like, no. You're literally managing the communication between like 64 different people, from underwriters, processors, appraisers, insurance reps, you have inspection reps, then you have listing agents, then you have buyer agents, then you have title agents, then you have their underwriters for title agents. Like, there's just so much that's going on with that. So yeah, for me, it was, you know, 17 years in it. I was just like, all right, cool. Next chapter of my professional career, going in that direction. So here's where I'm at. I'm in the second chapter of my professional career. So I have, you know, to answer your question, Monkey, when it comes to the classes, like I have a set schedule that's for them. But if I have a student who's like, hey, you know, I just can't make those times because I'm working or I have something that's going on, then we'll find a time that works for you. That also correlates with my schedule as well too, and then we'll work together based on that time frame. So I've been very flexible with people like that. I have people all over the world that take these classes. So sometimes people just they can't meet during the week. So I've actually sat with them on a Saturday or sat with them on a Sunday. So I'm flexible with them in that regard. Once we establish what that schedule looks like, then that's kind of going to be, you know, etched in stone, saying this is our schedule, this is what we're going to go off of. So if someone needed like a unique schedule, then like I said, I'll work with them in that regard. Of course. Absolutely. Happy to help, man. Happy to help. Yep. Yeah, sometimes you can just use TD9, you know, that sometimes that works for individuals. Sometimes they need a little bit more. Everyone's different. I know me personally, I like to look at all the possibilities. Right? Because if I'm looking at a TD9 from a specific level, I need to look at this. I'm like, okay, am I scalping here or am I intraday here? Am I going to run into a swing? Like all those factors play into it for me. But volume dynamics is definitely key. That's part of the mentorship that I teach. I teach about volume dynamics because volume is real time. But sometimes you see like low volume and you see a spike. You're like, what the heck is going on? And you know, say maybe you're developing a short and you get a spike in volume. You're like, what is the deal? Why are we spiking here? Like, well, you have an exit pump. Or maybe price action is coming down and volume doesn't match it. So you have a shakeout. Yeah, no doubt, brother. I'll be here. Not going anywhere. Lord willing. So let's look at good pullback. I mean, this is kind of expected here. I expect these moves. That's why I took a little bit of profit off of the short. You know, once we had this little wick right over here, I took a little bit of profit. So I'm not sitting upside down or anything like that. See what these big boys are doing out there. We got a couple shorts that entered. 23.51. Why? These guys. How big's your position? $5 million short for ETH. This guy's he's having a good week. He's up a mil this week. He's down 331,000 on this day. He shorted BTC at 78 for a $7 million position. He shorted ETH at 23.51 for a $5 million position. Interesting. Let's look at some longs. Let's see what the longs are doing. We got some longs that entered at 23.47, which was just above. So they entered right on New York Open. There, okay, New York Open high. So they're trading that 5-minute range. Okay, they might be. Oh, they're a swing. They're a swing trader. This guy's down a mil this week. How's he doing this day? He's up today, 39K. He's got a long way to go. Okay. Got another one at 23.61. Okay. So he bought at this wick. No, he did that 2 hours ago. So he bought on this wick over here. Okay. And then he just got revisited. Okay. What's your liquidation, bro? You're up 1.3 this week. You have no liquidation, so you got a healthy wallet. 9 million. Wow. All right, I'm gonna watch out for that guy. Actually, we're gonna track that guy. I want to track this guy. One position whale. Alright, so tracking that guy. I'm gonna see what that guy does with the wallet. I mean, 9 million wallet, like you qualify in that whale zone. You know, anything that's north of 5 million, you definitely qualify. Hyperbot's gonna tell you otherwise. Hyperbot's gonna tell you that exceeds 500,000, but I wouldn't label that as a whale. I'd go like north of 5 million. And the guy's sitting on 9. So lunchtime PM just opened not too long ago, about 17 minutes ago. PM session. Let's see. This is our PM session right over here. That's our PM session. A decent little range for it, to be honest with you. It is running hot, but you see we got a 7 that sits right here on the 5 minute. So I fully anticipate we revisit this area here. We should revisit that area before the day's over with. But I guess the question would be is like, do we come down to this level right over here and then move back up and then get a wave 2 and then just continue on the way up? I'll be rocking with you guys for about another hour or so, an hour and 15 minutes or so. Yeah, you can use AI for that. Yeah, I think that would be the next thing, like the next frontier for me is building a bot for bot trading. I truly enjoy trading by hand. Me personally, I just it's that rush in a way, right? It's that rush. But I mean, some of these bots that are out there are super impressive. I saw one guy the other day. He literally went from like 2 cents or $2. It was something ridiculous to like $140 in a span of like 20 minutes just with his bots. And there's a bot trader that's out there that I actually that I track here on Hyperbot. Where's my bot guy? This guy right here. This guy has 57. He had 59, but he keeps closing. But he's got a 19 million account value. Look at this. He's long on ETH 23. Excuse me, 23.59. Yep. These are all bots. So it's just something worth noting. Like, they're out there. You can be profitable. I haven't built one. I think that would be like the next frontier for us. But for right now, good old hand fashion. Yeah, I have a limit that's set at 2409. So if anybody's curious, I do have a limit that's set at 2409. I want to see that area tagged. Invalidation for me would be, getting into like 24. I had 2422, but I'll most likely push it up to like this level right over here, 2437s, right above that. Because on a 5-minute, we do have an imbalance that sits there. River looks like it wants to take a little bit of a pause here. ADX hasn't completely crossed over yet. No true sell signal. So River, I would just be neutral on River where it's at right now. Not for short and not even long. If you longed where I posted inside the corner inside this area, you're sitting good. You're sitting good. I think I had a call that sat around like 11, and then all of that dip, I was just buying that up. I did close mine as I was going into London. I was just like, yep, I'm gonna go to sleep. I left ETH because I had a little bit more confidence on ETH, so just maintaining ETH. Took some profits off of ETH. Wanted to play out. Yeah, maybe we'll kick some ideas around solar. Maybe we'll design something together. We'll find something that's out there. I just want to get through the first part of this year, right? Get through confirmation levels for longs, and then I'd probably run like a bot for scalp shorts. Yeah, Jeff, I know you got a background on that too, so maybe we have like a meeting of the minds. All of us kind of get together and kick around some ideas. And see, that's the thing. I'm open to these ideas inside of our server, right? Like, sure, me and a couple of individuals, we started it, we created it, but the whole point of community is exactly that. It's community. It's a collective of all of us. So ideas and things that you feel like could benefit not only the server, but also you as an individual where you can grow as a trader, bring them on. We're open to all those ideas. Whoop whoop. Campaign is live, boys. I just got the link. Campaign is live. Starts in 6 hours, 35 minutes. So let me get this link out to you guys. Just got the link. I'll post this inside Discord. Bum, 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 bum. Good rejection off of that for ETH. Managing back office at the same time here, guys. Sorry about that. But campaign's going to go live here in a sec. You too, brother. So I'll post that Good movements. River's moving down a little bit here. I'm here. I'm just doing multiple things. That ADD superpower is kicking in an overdrive right now. But I'm going to get this out to you guys real quick for the campaign. And I'll post it inside the chat for you guys here now. So just be sure to send me your UIDs, guys, so that way you don't run into any issues, run into any snags. And we'll get everything situated for you. Super excited for that, though. Super excited for us. Starts in 6 hours. By tomorrow, we'll be running fully inside of that campaign. You guys will make your money back in the sense of your trading fees goes. So that's good. That's the way that we designed it. Bytenix is so good with that. I love that. I love that. You did? Okay. I got you. Let me look at the list real quick. Yeah, there's a UID form. So if you guys already deposited and all that jazz, I think I got you here, Dan. I think I looked at you earlier. I already put in. Danny, you have 2 UIDs? Because I got you in here twice. So just let me know which one is the correct one. If you want to DM me, you can DM me. But I think I have you in here twice. Roman, I see you in here as well too. Sniper, I see you in here. Chimon, I see you in here. I see you guys in here. Right. Oh, you created a new one? Okay. The second one is correct. The first was thing. Okay. So I'm gonna delete that other one. The one that shoot me a DM real quick, bro. I don't want to put any sensitive information for you specifically, but just shoot me a quick DM. I just want to make sure I'm deleting the right one and making sure that the right one gets upgraded. So just do me a solid, just shoot me a DM, and then we'll get that squared away. Can you transfer an old Bytunix UID? To answer that, I mean, the short answer would be no, because that's what I was told, and I myself had to create a new UID. But I have found through another member that they were able to do, at least that's what customer service told them, but it takes 30 days for them to transfer it. It takes 30 days for it to transfer it. So you could miss out on the campaign opportunity in the sense of like bonuses and things like that, that's specific to Liquidity Citadel. So my recommendation, create a new UID. You can transfer your funds over from UID to UID, but just be, well, not be careful, but just know this. If you transfer from UID to UID in the sense of funds, it doesn't count as a deposit. It's just an internal transfer. So there are bonuses for deposits. So just heads up on that. Maybe you want to transfer whatever you have on your old UID to a wallet, create your new UID, and then transfer those funds from that wallet into your new UID. That way you get the bonus for deposit on there. I figured that out the hard way because I transferred my funds over from my old Bytunix UID into my new one. I was like, hey, there's a deposit bonus. Where is it? And then I figured it out. I'm like, oh, okay. So I had to go back in my wallet and do another deposit, but through the wallet. Okay, cool. I'm gonna get with you right now, Daniel. Okay, cool. Thanks, Danny. I appreciate you, brother. I appreciate you. Let me go ahead and fix something on here. Okay, let's just delete this record. I don't need that. All right, cool. I got you here. All right. Fun times. I'll make it get something to drink real quick. I'll be right back. I'm parched. Wow, you're very welcome, brother. It's my pleasure. So now we're testing that New York PM session low. Really a neutral area. Like I wouldn't go short here in this area. I wouldn't go long here in this area. For me, it's just really utilizing the fib. So I'm gonna make some adjustments to this fib real quick. Let's speculate this was wave 1. And so that brings us down a little bit lower. And let's adjust. Actually, let's open up the full screen here so we get a better view of this. And I could always be switching it right back. Like in the event like it bounces here in this area and then pushes right back up, then I'll just make adjustments. But I'm just going to work with what I have for the time being. Boom. Right there. So not that big of a difference, but a difference nevertheless. All right, we've got a 1, so the setup phase now changed. So this is now starting to speak into confirmations for this move down. So printing a 1, you can't see it maybe on your side, but it keeps flashing. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's closing beneath here. It changes the setup phase. See, now I see I printed a 1. So it's just testing that area. So after the stream here, I'll be inside the server. I'll be inside Discord, tracking all this stuff in real time. So I'll still be active. All right. Yeah, I got you. I got here, Nagesh. I think I have you already. Wait, hold on. That looks different. Hold on. Yeah, I got you here. I got you here. They're literally working on it right now. I was just communicating with them in the background, making sure everybody's updated. So once I get that confirmation that everybody's on the right link, then I'll send out an announcement saying, "Hey, everybody, just double check your UID or at least your VIP status. Like refresh it, make sure that it is. And if we run into any snags, then I'll make sure that that's taken care of." Full service, guys. Full service. We got the campaign this week. We got a giveaway going on this week. Going into next week, we're going to be flipping into 1K to 10K challenge. We got good stuff coming up, man. Good stuff. Remember, the YouTube channel still has a 1K giveaway that we're doing. Once the channel reaches 1K subscribers, we're going to be doing a 1K giveaway. We're going to spread that out amongst 5 different individuals. So 200 a pop. Easy money. That needs to be updated. I don't know why that still shows 58, but we're up to a good amount of members so far. Yeah, 85 members so far. It's good. About to break 100. We just started this last week. This just tells me where you guys want to learn. For the 1K giveaway, well, the $100 giveaway, those entries were already closed. I posted that on Twitter. Basically, you had to be subscribed to the channel. You just drop your handle inside of the Twitter post, reshare, all that jazz, and then that's a $100 giveaway we're going to be doing on Wednesday. The $1,000 giveaway is going to be very similar. You know, I'll post that on after Wednesday. I'll post that giveaway for us, so that way you guys have the rules for that. And then we'll track that once the channel reaches 1,000 subscribers. Then I'll close that giveaway as far as entries go. And then we'll roll out maybe within like the following week. We'll roll out the actual giveaway and the winners. But just be sure to be subscribed to the channel, follow on Twitter, and it's pretty simple. A loyalty package, right? All right, decent moves for ETH. That looks good. Anybody short that with me? Anybody take any shorts on that, or are you guys just still waiting for that 2409? Now remember, if this thing sinks down to this area and then decides to pull right back up, then I remove my 2409 limit. Well, not here specifically, but if you short it around the 2380 area, right on this 9, if you short it on that 9, that's why I started building mine. I started building mine on the 9. I was looking for another push up into 2409 to clear some imbalance. Actually, if we look at it here, I think that imbalance got cleared. Yeah, that imbalance got cleared. See this wick? It got cleared. So I want to see a push down to something like right over here. Maybe where that open is. Which puts us around... Wait, let's go back to that, sorry. Was that 2271? And what do I have in that area? That's right over here, 0.5. So maybe I get inside this golden pocket right inside this area at this level. I do have an imbalance that sits over here too. So, you know, I want to see if I can bounce here. This makes a little bit more sense for me because I have an imbalance that sits inside the zone on a 5-minute. So if we can clear that imbalance, that also gives us a sharp correction right here in this area. So I'm open to looking for longs inside of here, even down to the 888 level. Waiting for 2409. But just heads up, remember what I said just now about 2409. Like if we come down first and then we decide to pull back up, excuse me, that 2409 won't work. It just won't work. It's kind of like here and now. If we start bouncing inside of this area where the New York open high is and the New York PM session low is at, like if we start bouncing inside this area and we can get to 2409, then yes, that order for me is still open. That order for me is still active. But if I start getting into, let's say like 2304, 2276, you know, 2248, any one of those fib levels that you see on the screen there, if I get to those levels and I start bouncing those levels, then that 2409 is going to be cut for me, because now my wave 2 would be confirmed, and then I'm entering into a wave 3, so I should anticipate up thrust. So I would definitely cancel shorts in that area. This is not the ideal area for longs. I'm still holding on to my long. You know, I'm hedged on my short. I'm looking to flip my head short into long once we reach those levels. And so if we don't get the 2409, then we look for the long. It'll come. It'll come. What they say in Field of Dreams? If you build it, they will come. What's River doing? Yeah, I figured River would do that. River will probably come back over here to these areas. Maybe it sweeps and comes down a little bit lower into the 7s. I would definitely long that. 7.4 or something like that. I would definitely long that. As a matter of fact, I'm going to set some alarms for River right over here. Yeah, I just set an alarm for that. I'm going to set an alarm here for ETH on all these levels. So in the event that I, walk away or something like that, I don't know what's what. Actually, no, I'm going to set it on this whole box. There you go. So all the alarms are set on there. So the purpose behind that is you can just walk away, really, at the end of the day. You can walk away, and then once you get those notifications, check back on your chart and be like, okay, what's going on? Bam, bam, bam. All right, 20 minutes left on this one. What do you want to do here, ETH? What do the signals look like? Sell signal on that. Okay. So that's good. That's decent. DI positive, failure to break above. That's okay. ADX kind of flat, so I expect volatility here in this area. Quickly, a money flow window overbought. RSI is just kind of sitting flat. It's in bullish territory, but from a wave trend perspective, there's a dip that's coming. At least that's brewing. That's what that's showing me. And their trend is just kind of developing on the bearish trend. So let's look out for that. I could so see 2186 though being tapped into. I'd be surprised if it bounces off that 0.32. I mean, you might get like a temporary bounce in that area because that's New York open low to create inducement where people want to start aping into longs, and then it just continues to flush down. When I get to those levels, I'll probably take like small TPs in that area for the short. Just strip a small little portion out. Soul. Yeah, I'll take a look at Soul Freeman. I think I have a Soul idea. What's my Soul idea? I think I have it globally. Okay, so I don't have Soul globally there, but I have. All right. Yeah, just shy of my full TP on that. It went to wave A. Yeah, it went to wave A. It had a 9 net printed. My only concern about Soul here is I do have a cooldown, but I really wanted to see something like this over here. I'm kind of optimistic here, saying, thinking that Soul can potentially get here to 85. I wouldn't be longing here in this area. Your best case scenario, like if this in fact was the support for it, yeah, pretty big demand area once it gets inside this zone. So taking a risky, I mean, maybe I don't get my level, which is fine, but I would look at Soul from longing inside of here. See if you can build a long if you get a revisit on this box. And then obviously keep your stop loss. Just if you make a new low, that's your stop loss. That's your invalidation. Then I would look for these levels right over here next. Yeah, see wave C is a heavier TP. a heavier TP on wave A. I don't know. Maybe I might. I'll look into longing that myself. I'll look to longing that. What is that from 100 down to 95? Yeah, I'll look for some longs in that. No, I wouldn't short that though. No, I definitely wouldn't short that because you don't have a heat up candle on that. This is kind of a neutral territory from a daily perspective. So you got like 5 hours left inside of this candle. I would wait for the next day to see what occurs here in this area. If you can get a bounce inside the zone, then you're looking for longs. Because patterns follow patterns. So there's potential. I mean, it's kind of steep. But that means you're going to have an impulse. That's what I would look for. And wave D can go a little bit higher. I'll get the measurements for that. But that's what I would look for on Sol. So what I'll do is I'll post this inside my corner. I actually kind of like that. So I'll look out for some long opportunities for it. I'll scale down to like a lower time frame. Maybe like a 55-minute down to like a 13-minute to see if I can find some entries inside those zones. Because maybe it front runs this area, so I'll look for some long opportunities. But I'm gonna wait the next day. That's another 5 hours from now. All right. Testing that New York open high. No buy signal on that. That's probably going to create inducement. Let's see. We get a bounce and maybe come back into this area. That's what I'm thinking it might create. I'm just going to take a little bit of TP off of that. See, I won't long it, right? Like, let's say I bounce in that area and I go up higher. Well, then I took TP and I still have my long. I wouldn't want to long this to mess up my average and then it pushes down and then I have to get out of my long altogether. So I just took a small little TP here in this area, just taking a little bit of profit. This small little position, it's basically free now. I think I entered in with a $30 position, $30 margin. There's already $28 in realized P&L that sits on there. So essentially it's a free trade at this point. So if it runs back all the way to break even, then I'm good. Then it wasn't time wasted. Yeah, I don't know if I answered that. Maybe look at the chat again. That's just not something that I would short in that area. You know, sometimes when you miss those entries and maybe it goes lower, I don't feel it's an opportunity to start aping into shorts. Maybe you get like a small little run on it, maybe you're profitable, but the chances of you being round tripped are significantly higher. So it's best just to kind of wait for that long opportunity to present itself. Actually, I'm going to go over to Sol. I'm going to set an alarm for that. I should have done that when I was over here, which I think is this box. Yeah, so it's this box right here. There. I have an alarm set for that. Come on, what do you want to do? You want to give us a 2409? Got a hammer at the top, followed with a bearish engulfing. That's kind of screams reversal. There's 10 minutes left inside that candle, so let's see. Good, nice drop. Keep coming. Keep coming. Just looking for all this. Go. All right, so UIDs have been updated on the dashboard. So you guys be on the lookout for your VIP status. If you don't see a change in your VIP status, within like the next 24 hours or so, just shoot me a DM. I'll make sure that it's handled and taken care of. But all the UIDs that were from the form that filled out, they're all now appearing here on the dashboard. I'm going to run back through them one by one just to make sure and triple check. Make sure everyone's in here that's supposed to be correctly in here. but a couple people don't have deposits yet. I can see if there's deposits or not. So that may be the reason why VIP is not activated. So just be sure that you have your deposit with it when you are double checking it. All right, testing that New York open high. See if it wants to bounce there in that area. I mean, you got a bearish engulfing here just from this little uptrend. It's already on a downtrend, but that would just give you short-term reversal down to these levels. Campaign's going to run for a month, just so you guys know. It's going to run until the 3rd. So it officially starts tomorrow. You have the link to start registering, and the campaign runs until March. Yeah, keep coming down lower. I'm gonna give us a little bit more juice. Good sell signals on that. Yep. Only thing that changes is if this ADX decides to just pop up with that DI positive and pops up, you got to be careful for that. So don't be too proud to hold it and not take profits. If you don't get a full TP, you don't get a full TP. You just got to treat it like a scalp in that sense. From a weekly perspective, we opened up, with pretty aggressive lows. From a monthly perspective, we opened up with pretty aggressive lows. The probability of going higher and collecting some liquidity to the upside is greater than, further moving down. Can we move down to 2000s? Yeah, we can. But like when you're on a lower time frame such as this, you just got to be cautious and say, okay, well, is there a possibility that I can go back up to 2400? Yeah, there is. And if you're already currently short, then it's an opportunity for you to strip profits here and there. I'll be on here for about another 12 more minutes. If you guys have any questions, anything I can answer for you, feel free to ask. 15-minute. It's interesting on a 15-minute. I'll actually go down on a 13. Now we're rejecting it. Nice. See, now we're rejecting New York up and high. I like that. No buy signal on that yet. Remember, we still have this 7 over here that printed higher. So if I get a high move into this area without visiting those lower fibs that we're talking about over here, that's going to be a decent short in my opinion. Yeah, right over here. Yeah. If we start rejecting it, yeah. I don't disagree with you on that. Because we have a close underneath the PM session, a retest failure, then another close underneath it. This is still like retest grounds over here. I just don't want to like ape into a position and it messes with my average. Oh, come on. Make a decision here. See, it's kind of flat in these levels right over here. And this is showing volatility. This on this time frame. Something's got to give. New 55 just started. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that puts us in the middle of the ground over here. Let's see if I can retest that. Because obviously you can see that there's a fair value gap that developed from that as well too. So I want to see if we can test, what is that, 2365 for a retest? Because from a 55 perspective, we just closed underneath it. So I would look to see if we can get a retest inside that area, and then maybe we move back down. We reject off that line because it's trying to change the setup phase, then I would add to my short. Excuse me. Decision time here for it. Decision time for it. Declining volume. Excuse me. So shaking people out. Inducement for the other side? Possibly. Let's see what happens here. Quite possible. Not good rejection. Okay. You're gonna come lower? Come on. You gotta make a decision here, ETH. I wonder how many shorts aped into that. All the shorts entered like an hour, 2 hours ago on that last 55-minute candle. 2351, 2370, 2370, 2373, a lot of 2370s. Right here on that New York open high. So this kind of makes a little bit more sense to me. I mean, these are big wallets too. Yeah, this is a $9.8 million wallet that I'm looking at. He's short on BTC and he's short on ETH. 11 million in margin. Wow. No, I'm already long from 2176, and I'm looking for add backs, you know, somewhere around like 2213 down to like 2186. That's my targets. That's essentially what I'm looking for. But in the event that, you know, we get front ran and, you know, it becomes a flat wave 2, any one of these levels, like these are flat, this is flat, this is sharp. You know what? I'm going to put that on here just because I want to see what that looks like for kicks and giggles. Yeah, we're bouncing off of 0.236 right now. That means wave 4 is going to be ridiculously sharp. If it bounced here, I didn't long it, not adding to that. My indicators kind of point towards a little bit lower. I do have some volatility that's kicking here in this area. So I'm prepared for, you know, a flash up to here and then pull back down. All right, as we're winding down here, guys, you guys kind of know how I am. I want to make sure that you guys are sent off in the right way, the right fashion. You're you're new here, I'm a faith-driven trader. Everything I do is by his command and following his steps. I firmly believe in praying over others, especially if someone's not praying for you. That being said, Father God, thank you for today. Thank you for the stream, this community, and the good positions we were able to take. Thank you for the doors you're opening. Even with this campaign that we have going fresh, we thank you for that. We recognize that opportunities like this are not random. You allow them. Father God, as we log off, keep us humble in the winds. Keep us wise with every position we hold. Keep us mindful that we are stewards, not owners. Father, I ask that you guard every person who is here and every family they represent. Protect our minds from greed, fear, and overtrading. Help us to manage what we've been given with discipline, integrity, and peace. Let everything that was built today, the trust, the knowledge, the momentum, be rooted in you, not just in the hype or emotion. Father, I ask that you bless this community, bless the work of our hands, and let this campaign and these trades be used in a way that honors you and doesn't pull our hearts away from you. We place our accounts, our decisions, and our future in your hands. Bring us back for our next stream, sharper, calmer, and closer to you. We pray all this in Jesus' name, and everybody said, Amen. All right, boys, ladies, and gentlemen. Just want to say thank you guys for being with me and kicking it with me today. I'll be back live again tomorrow. Probably picking up right around 9 o'clock, 9:30 before the New York cash markets open. I'll be heavily active inside of the server. So if you're popping off of here and you want to continue where I'm going with these trades, where I'm going with these ideas, where I'm going with shorts, pop into the Discord. If you're new here, it is posted here at the top of the chat. I welcome you. Be sure, guys, to subscribe to the channel, set your notifications so that way you are aware when I'm going to be going live. This is going to be an everyday thing, routine for you guys. Outside of that, please remain safe as you go out through the remainder of the course of the week. It is a new start to the week, so we could see some moves in both directions. Remain profitable, and above all, God bless you guys. I love you, and peace be with you. Peace.